everyone, it's Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to share with you some storage solutions that I picked up from scrapbook.com, and I want to start out by showing you these Slimline envelopes. They are to store your Slimline dies, and this is a scrapbook.com exclusive product, but I haven't seen any storage for Slimline dies, and I have so many of them, and I thought these would be perfect. So really quick about these are 4.5 inches by 9.5 inches, and I have a Slimline die here, and I'm just going to show you how it fits perfectly in that envelope. There's two tuck spots here for the flap. There's one here at the top. It's a larger tuck spot. And then there is a smaller one right down below. And look at that. They hold your Slimline dies perfectly. And I will say that these are currently on sale. I'm not sure when I post this video if they will still be on sale, but I know that the scrapbook.com has all of their scrapbook.com exclusive products on sale currently. So you can get these as a 5-pack. And the regular price is $10.50 for a 5-pack, but they were slashed in half for their sale that they have going on. So I picked these up for $5.49. And again, that was for the 5-pack. They also come in a 10-pack, which is $21 regular price. But again, with their sale, it's all cut in half. And the 10-pack is $10.49. So I just love these, and I cannot wait to use these to store my Slimline dies. They have a whole bunch of other size envelopes that can store different sizes, dies, stamps, papers, all different sizes. Looks just like this. This is a very sturdy, heavy plastic material, so it's not going to get messed up on the edges because it's very sturdy, and these envelopes will last you a long time. So I went ahead and added all of my Slimline dies to these envelopes. So you can see I've labeled them, and I've even stored extra pieces in the envelopes. Most of the dies that have multiple dies, like this one has an actual panel die and some circles that go together, those are stored in single envelopes. There's another one. There's some extras. And then I also have several Slimline background dies labeled with each one of them all stored in one envelope. So these are just single background dies. There's like 4 in here. So I just stuck those in one envelope. I also was able to put some of my Slimline words. So these are some long words that fit perfectly in these envelopes. These are the Stamps of Life add-on words, and you can see how large they are. So I put all the die cuts and the dies in these envelopes to keep them together. So you're probably wondering, how are you going to store all of these envelopes? And I am just going to take a bin that I got from Target, stick them in there, and they fit perfectly in this bin. So this is just a standard typical plastic bin. You can probably even get these at the dollar store, but I did pick this one up at Target, and they fit perfectly in these bins. So I can just flip through and see what I need because they're all labeled. So next I want to show you these albums that I picked up from scrapbook.com, and I actually picked up 2 different sizes because I didn't know what size I wanted to use. This smaller pink one is a 6 by 8, and then the teal one is a 9 by 12, and you can see the difference. Let me just turn these so you can see the difference in the size. So you can see the 9 by 12 is much larger than the 6 by 8. So just real quick, I just want to show you, these do come empty. I did purchase these separately. So these sheets you can purchase separately. Now obviously you can use these for scrapbooking. These do fit the Project Life cards. So if you wanted to use these for scrapbooking, and if you're using Project Life, these cards fit in here perfectly. But I'm going to show you how you can actually use these albums to store your stamps and your dies. So I just want to quickly just show you that these packs, I believe they come in a pack of 10, and these are 3 by 4 sleeves. There's 4 per sheet. And I did purchase a 10-pack of the 3 by 4s, and then I also purchased some that have 2 of the 3 by 4s at the top and then a 4 by 6 at the bottom. So you can actually store your 4 by 6 stamp sets in here and your smaller stamps in the 3 by 4 slots. And then they also have other style sleeves, just depending on what you're going for. The 6x8 binder, it is a 2-ring binder, so they just open and close. So it has the 2 rings, and this is a good quality binder. It actually has a label on the side, so you can mark the contents of what's in it. And I will say it's not leather, but it's almost like a simulated leather, but it's a very nice quality. And you can see that the edges have this hard silver mechanism on the sides, just so that the sides don't bend. So that's the 6x8. So I just want to show you what I'm going to use my 6x8 for. So I did fill it with embellishments. So you can see some of these smaller embellishment packs. Here are some buttons I put in a Ziploc bag and then just stuck right in these 3x4 pockets. So a lot of these embellishments, actually all of these embellishments, are from previous Stamps of Life card kits. There's some stickers in here, so you can see that the stickers actually fit in these sleeves. I did put a piece of white cardstock between if I was going to put something on the back side. So this piece of white cardstock I just cut down to 4x6 and slid it right in there, so that way I can actually see what's in this front pocket. I didn't do that with the little 4x6 ones, but that way you can actually see the stickers on the reverse. So if there were multiple sheets, like here I have multiple sheets of the same sticker, I just slid them right in there. Some of the stickers I even cut down to fit in a smaller 3x4 pocket, and some I still need to put in here, but you can see that you can actually hold some of your embellishments in these sleeves. And then here you can see this is pretty thick. So these albums are pretty thick, and you can see that when you have it closed, you can see the thickness of this album. So these are on a 2-ring binder, but you can see all of the room that you have here for when you close it. So it will allow you to thicken it up. If you don't like it that thick, you can always get another album and separate your contents. But that's what I'm gonna use my 6x8 album for, is just so that I can flip through here and see what embellishments I have when I'm doing my card making. I want you to see the 9x12. I actually have some stuff in here. I want you to see how I'm going to use it. Same quality. It also has the label on the side, the protectors on the edge, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just show you what I have in here. So again, this comes empty. The 9x12 is the 3-ring binder, and I purchased these sleeves separately. So this particular sleeve, it actually has room for 2 4x6. So if you're doing it, using it for photos, you can do 2 4x6s, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3x4s. So I actually have all of my sentiment stamps in here. Now, if you wanted to see how I store my stamps with the matching dies, I have a separate video of a craft room tour that I did back in, I believe, December, and I will link that down below. But what I wanted to use this for was just for my sentiment stamps, because I keep them separate than I do with my stamps with the dies. So these little stamps are the 3x4 stamp sets that came in the Stamps of Life card kits for many, many, many years. They still have the smaller stamp sets, and these are all just the sentiment ones that I have collected over the years. And these will actually fit in these 3x4 sleeves. So I'm just gonna stick those in here so you can see all of these were from there. And then these are some of the larger ones. So these are the 4x6 sets, and these actually fit in the 4x6 sleeves. So I'm just gonna pop that right in there. And then this one, I just wanna show you that you can actually, with these 4x6s, here's a little bit larger Kit Club stamp, and this one I just stuck right in the back of the 4x6. So if you wanted to double up, you can. I will say that if you try to double up these smaller ones, it's a little bit tighter just because it's a smaller in size, but the 4x6 I was able to get 2 without any problem in there. So you can see, I'm just gonna go through here. You can see the 4x6s, and then the little bit larger ones I just put in the larger pockets. Now, I also want to show you that some of my small dies that don't go with any stamps, for example, this particular die was a cloud die that came in one of the Stamps of Life kits. And how I store that is I just put it in this small little Ziploc and I labeled it, put it in the bag, and then I put the bag in the sleeve and it fits perfectly. Now I did find that if I put my dies in here without putting it in this little Ziploc bag first, that they can more easily fall out of these pockets. Because keep in mind that these little pockets, the intent of these really, I think, is for scrapbooking and putting pictures and journaling cards in here. When you start putting dies in here just free without any little plastic bag like I have, if you were to put your album upside down, I think that those dies would easily fall out and just slide right out, because these pockets do not have any closures to them. They are just open. So I did find that by using these little Ziploc bags, they actually stay put. So here are some of my mini binder tabs. I just put all of them in there and labeled that, and then stuck that back in here. Now these little bags, these I purchased on clearbags.com, and the size of them, let's see, it looks like they're 3x3 clear bags, and if I can find those, I will link those below in case you're interested. But these just hold your little miscellaneous dies. I have a cupcake die, a tag die. Here's some more dies for the arrow, kit arrow, rolled flower die. I have some sampler dies, frames with planners. And then you can see I have this bigger flourish die from the Stamps of Life just stuck in here. And then again, all of my 4x6s. So I think that's how I'm going to use this particular album, is just keep all of my sentiments and my small miscellaneous dies in here. And here's an example. You can see I have this little envelope die. I don't have a bag big enough to fit in it, so you can see it's kind of falling out a little bit, so I just have to be a little bit careful with that. You can also use these 3x4 pockets to store your little sheets of epoxy dots, so that way when you are looking for your epoxy dots, you don't have to go through, maybe a bucket of your epoxy dots and see what you have. So these actually fit perfectly. These little sleeves of epoxy dots fit perfectly in these 3x4 compartments. So these were 2 4x6s, and then I said 5 3x4s. If your stamp sets are any larger than 3x4, I will say they're not going to fit in this smaller pocket, so keep an eye out on that. And then these pockets are all 3x4 pockets. So you have 3, 6, 9 to a sheet. And then there's even some pockets that you can purchase that are an actual sheet that's one big pocket. So maybe you had some stickers that you wanted to put in here, or some embellishments, or maybe you even had some cardstock sheets. Those would fit perfectly in these larger sleeves. They also have sheets that have 4 4x6s, so if you just wanted to store your 4x6 stamps, you can get the sheets that have the 4 4x6s. And these are scrapbook.com exclusive products, so they are currently on sale, and I don't know how long that sale is going for. You guys, so I'm super excited about this because I just took a break and I organized all of my epoxy dots. Look at all of this. Isn't that beautiful? Just like looking through here, I love it. So I think I'm gonna actually purchase another one of these 9x12 albums and just have it for my epoxy dots. That way I have my stamps and my epoxy dots separately. But look at all of this garbage that I can now throw away, and all of this bulk. I actually just took all of them out of their packaging. I used to have them in a storage case where I had to flip through and see what I had. But now I have them all laid out, so I can just go through each page and see everything laid out, and I don't have to worry about scrambling through and seeing what I have in a storage case. And then if there were any multiples, like for example this red pack, I just stuck them both in here together. And you could also organize them by color, but a lot of these epoxy dots have multicolor, so it was really pointless on some of those. But towards the back, I did put all of my pearls. I have my white pearls, my green pearls. Those are all together. Something else I purchased is this scrapbook.com Craft Room Basics Stadium Organizer. It has 4 compartments. So there's a larger, deeper one here. And then this middle one, it's a little bit more raised. And then you have these two front compartments that are a little bit smaller. And I do want to say this is made out of a very hard and sturdy cardboard. And it's almost like it's coated with a glossy, some type of glossy finish, which makes it stand out. I think it looks really nice. It actually matches my craft room. And it does not, to me, it doesn't look cheap. It actually, you can see how it's made out of a very hard material. So this, I think I'm going to use to store some of my planning and traveler's notebook supplies. So I can actually put some traveler's notebooks in the very back compartment of that. This middle compartment, I think I might store some of my sticker books. You can also fit your stamp sets. So if you have any stamp sets, these are 4x6 stamp sets, and they do fit in here a long ways. So if you don't have a lot of stamps in, or you just have some stamps that you use a lot and you want to keep those on your desk, it will store those in this middle compartment. So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put my sticker books. Now, if you wanted to put, if you had sticker books and you do planning, they obviously would fit in this one as well. This is a deeper compartment. But I think I'm going to keep them in that middle one so that I can put my traveler's notebooks in the back. And I can also put my stamps there. And then these smaller compartments, I think I'm just going to store some washi tape in here. You can also, if you do scrapbooking, these Project Life cards will fit perfectly in here. They will only fit in the portrait position. They will not fit landscape. So those will fit. And here is a little bit of a look at it on its side, just so you can see what it would look like from the front. But you can store just about anything in here. If you had paper clips and you wanted to use this just for office storage, maybe paper clips and sticky notes would definitely fit in here. You can possibly fit some markers. So if you had a lot of markers and you wanted to stand them up, those would fit, but you'd have to have a lot of markers in order to fill that space. They obviously would fit horizontally by laying down. You can possibly fit some markers here. If you had less markers and you wanted to stand them up, they would probably fit there. You can also store your small paper pads in here. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of these paper pads just to see how many I can get in here. So this very back bin will hold 11. These are Stamps of Life paper pads, and these are quite full. These do not have, if they have any papers, maybe just 1 or 2 papers out of each one, but these are quite full. So 11 in here, and you can fit the same amount in this middle bin. So you can definitely store your paper pads in this compartment. So moving on, I also purchased this Desk Maid. It's a die stamp and supply organizer. This is actually a Totally Tiffany product, and I didn't open it yet, but I just want you to see the picture. There's Project Life cards on here. There's embossing folders. There's dies. There's stamps. There's sticker books. So you can store a whole lot in here. Great for metal dies, unmounted stamps, embossing folders, and planner supplies. It's a 3-stadium level of organization with 6 movable dividers. And it is 15 inches wide, 9 inches deep, and 5.5 inches tall. So that's the dimensions that it says here on the box. So I like this because it is a nice sturdy, it's not plastic, it's very sturdy. And these dividers actually come out. So if you did not want to separate these 2 bins, and maybe you needed a smaller bin, smaller here, a little bit larger here, or maybe you didn't want to use that at all, you can have a really large bin here. So all of these middle dividers do pop out. So this one as well, and then these 3. So you can put this and size it however you want to size it. And again, the reason I picked this one up is because I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. So these front bins, you definitely can store your Project Life cards. You can store them horizontally, but you can also stand them upright if you wanted to do that. And if you wanted to, you can take this divider out and reposition it so that it's a little bit closer and fits those Project Life cards perfectly, just like that. You can also use these to store your washi tape. You can also store your sticker books in here. This is deep enough to fit your traveler's notebooks in the back pockets. You could use these to store your 4x6 stamps. So these stamps will actually fit in these pockets. If you had larger stamp sets, you can remove the inside here and you can store larger sets here. You can also use this to store your markers. This probably is a more practical solution than the other bin that I showed you, just because these are much smaller in size. And if you wanted to even make them smaller in size to store a few of your markers, you can definitely do that. So I will have links to all of these products down in the description box. And as I said, the scrapbook.com exclusive products are currently on sale. So if you have any questions, let me know. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.